So in this instance, you'll want to make sure that the toaster's powered off and unplugged, and you'll want to rotate your toaster so that you have access to both the back and the front side. You want to make sure that you set both the heel and the crown to the widest settings, which would be F and 6. So I'm going to go ahead and turn those to there before I take off the front part of the toaster. Again, with the toaster powered off and my heat resistant gloves on, I'm going to remove, in this case, the front part of the toaster, and I'm going to show you how to take off the silicone conveyor belt. So what you want to do is you want to lift this flap up and you want to expose the zipper. And in between the zipper there is a small pin, and so I'm removing the pin, and you'll see that the conveyor belt strap will drop. You'll want to unattach the clips, and then you'll want to remove the conveyor belt wrap from its place, both front and back. So when you're cleaning the conveyor belt wraps, you'll notice that there's a tackiness to the conveyor belt wrap. You'll want to use a kitchen towel with dish detergent to gently clean away the material that is on the conveyor belt wraps. If you need to, you can soak the conveyor belt wrap in a 3-compartment sink and properly rissa. The one piece that you do not want to do is use any abrasive materials such as a blue or white scrub pad. It will destroy the tackiness and will not feed bread through your toaster. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to put the conveyor belt wrap back onto the unit. You'll notice that I've got the clips up top, the zipper on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it upright, and I'm going to make sure that when I start to feed this, that I go underneath the support rod. Very important that you do that, otherwise you will tear your conveyor belt. Once I've fed the unit, the belt, I want to make sure that I come up and over this area here. Now that I have the conveyor belt wrap properly fed, I'm going to remove my heat resistant gloves, because the only thing I'm going to touch is the belt wrap, which is now not hot. And I'm going to make sure I align the sides of the belt wrap together. And I'm going to hold one end with the rod, and I'm going to feed it through the first couple of holes, making sure that they're aligned. And once you get the first couple of holes, it'll easily align the rest of them in place. And now I'm going to show you how to properly clip the belt to the chain. So starting at the top and maneuvering the bottom of the chain in place on the bottom clip, you now have your conveyor belt clipped to the chain. You do the same for the back conveyor belt, putting that back on. There is one difference on putting the back cover on the back side of the toaster, and that is that we do have a bottom support rod here, and you'll see that the conveyor belt has been placed on the inside of that and not on the outside. So just as in the front, the support rods, you want to make sure the conveyor belts are on both the inside of the top and the bottom before you put your cover back on the toaster. So now that your toaster is fully reassembled, you'll want to make sure that your LED is coming up and saying that it's in the use mode and that it's properly heated. The other piece that I want to point out is that there's a QR code, and that QR code is going to lead you to the manufacturer's website, which is going to have this video, as well as the owner's manual and the equipment standard pages for this particular toaster. One important thing is make sure that you put your adjustment knobs back to the D2 setting, which is the recommended start setting. Put your other pieces back on the toaster as you disassembled them, reassemble them, power your unit back on, and you should be ready to go.